I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, more small and insignificant, Louis. That's right. If you didn't know, the Sci-Fi Channel's doing their live broadcast so we can see those Pluto aliens naked. That's right. The new Horizon spacecraft, speeding through the solar system at some 30,000 miles an hour, carries an array of highly sensitive instruments and sophisticated electronics. It also carries a more archaic cargo, an American postage stamp. Yeah, the 1991 stamp reads, Pluto not yet explored. The New Horizons is about to render that proclamation, of course, obsolete. Early Tuesday morning, the ship is expected to become the first to fly close to Pluto, breezing past at a distance of only 7,700 miles, qualifying as kissing distance to the planet that will then lie 3 billion miles from Earth. Never before has a spaceship visited Pluto, which is the last member of the classical 9 planets to receive an ambassador from Earth. So distant that scientists still, of course, do not know exactly how big it is. Even the Hubble Space Telescope has taken only blurry photos of it. The hope is Pluto will be revealed in its glorious weirdness, kind of like Gilbert. Yes, glorious weirdness.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gilbert, global weirdness. Yeah. Bradford. Well, the miniature planet is enchanting in its strangeness and its alien beauty. Principal investigator Alan Stern of the Southwest Research Institute in Boulder, Colorado, told reporters Monday Pluto has not disappointed. The flyby is scheduled for 7:49 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. In the last 48 hours, New Horizons sent back new intelligence that it has delighted and astounded scientists. The ship's sensors have revealed that they can still see Mexican weather girl Yelena Garcia. Oh, no. The ship's sensors actually revealed that Pluto's North Pole is covered by methane and nitrogen ice, and that the planet is on the larger end of earlier estimates. There we go. Oh, it's sort of like we're on the Starship Enterprise. Wow, somebody get the flocka out of his hands. Yes, he says we're coming into a new solar system. Yes, he's just all excited. He's on the Starship Enterprise. It looks so strange, we really can't make any sense of it. Well, that's good. I'm glad we spent billions of dollars and many years waiting for you not to be able to make sense of it. Well, even the slightly fuzzy snapshots that New Horizons has clicked off on its way to Pluto have astounded and baffled scientists. There is a line of dark polka dots on Pluto's horizon and the bright heart nearby, and there's a dark stretch in the North Pole of Charon, Pluto's largest moon. We're stumped, Schenck says. We don't know anything. Oh, yeah, and here we go down to brass tacks now, of course. The scientists working on the $720 million mission.
Yes.
Of course, to brush aside Pluto's official demotion in 2006 from that full-fledged planet to a humbler dwarf planet. Regardless of rigid nomenclature, Pluto merits attention as a solar system citizen completely different from both the rocky planets club that includes Earth and Mars and the so-called gas giants, a group that includes Jupiter and, yes, Sharon, Uranus. Yes, Pluto is a whole new kind of planet, one that sucks the money right out of us. Oh, no, he doesn't say it sucks the money right out of us. He says, Mike Summers, actually, of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, says, it's something that we're just not familiar with, yet this kind of planet may dominate the solar system, at least in the amount of money it's cost us. That's what he said. Glad I got that cleared up.
Yes.
And the story goes on, something about the Kuiper Belt. And some other stuff. But, hey, if you're really interested, tune in at 7:45 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. I'm not wasting any more time here. No, not doing that, because we've got some other stuff to do here. Vermont police, of course, are weighing in on whether or not they should just put out all the mugshots of the bad guys, stick them out on social media so that they don't even have to get up from their desks. And the real beauty is, of course, you can sit there and finger the guy right from the comfort of your own device. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Gilbert, it just was not that funny. Back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's get to the one store with more number one choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl thing, and a tight little skirt, and we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out, we never style, we never go out of style. Take me out. There's only one place to get more Taylor. You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Action! And the thing with the camera. A drunken farmer stumbles upstairs into his bedroom, waking his wife, Roseanne. She sits up and sees her husband holding a sheep under his arm. The farmer yells, "This is the pig I've been f***ing." Roseanne says, "You idiot! That's not a pig, it's a sheep." The farmer yells, "Shut the f*** up, I was talking to the sheep."
Well, you know, at least the F button is working. Oh, my God.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I
You
know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Well, I'm willing to help the people, but Gilbert is on his own. Yeah. He just is. Well, hey, welcome back to the big show, your coffee and cigarettes Monday mocha for this Monday the 13th of July 2015, where it is 84 degrees Central Park right now. A couple of clouds kicking around, but nothing too damn serious. Get the hell out there and quit listening to me. Oh, of course, yeah, unless you're not in New York, in which case none of this matters. That's right. That's what I love about the platform, Gilbert.
Yes.
You know, if we're just on New York, we're in New York. You know, that's it. Everything we say is actually pertinent to the folks who listen. But of course, with the advent of the internet and technology, most of the stuff that we say through most of the shows, through most of time, doesn't matter to you. One thing that does matter to you, or at least it should, is Tim Hortons and their 8 fine locations in the city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs. Yes, Tim Hortons, always fresh. They're spreading across the USA more and more every day. Most of the Northeast is all filled up with them, and soon you can enjoy the Tim Hortons Flocka Blend. Yes, you'll be selling your house for $700 just for the taste of it. Yes. Well, moving on today. Yes, we were just telling you before the break, the Vermont police, they want to put the old mugshots on social media there so that, well, they don't have to get up. Man, just sit behind their desk and enjoy. Come to think of it, that's what I'm doing. Maybe the cops should have got into radio.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
We don't know what he's... No. Okay, thank you, Louie.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've been on enough radio shows to know that in the middle of an answer, the guy is like checking the boards and looking over notes and talking to other people.
Right.
Yes. See? Now you're impressed.
Yeah. He might be, but I'm not. You're not doing nothing. That's totally me.
Oh, no, I would say, go ahead.
Well, thanks. I was... You apologize, mister.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is my name?
Yeah, well, it's Gilbert. I'm frickin' ready, Godfrey. Yeah. But it's great to have you here. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Same thing.
Pretty much. Well, thanks for that chime in there, Louie. That was great and had, I don't know how, anything to do with anything.
The
but,
music is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Actually, Louie, I can just give a nod to Jenny right now, and well, actually, let's do that. Jenny, there you go. There's your music. Oh wait. Jenny, the other one. Yeah, here you go, Louie. Ah, yeah. That's right, Louie. Isn't it nice?
The music is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
We got it. Well, there you go. Can I get back to the damn show now, maybe? You know, we've passed that weatherman hump. I can, you know, I can actually deliver some entertainment for free. Yes, that's right. Coffee and cigarettes. The most entertainment you can get without a prescription.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
No, because the button does not work. Well, in Burlington, Vermont, make one mistake and your mug can end up all over social media these days. Make two, and you might attract a storm of comments on Vermont law enforcement Facebook pages. But there's the line between the public's right to know and the rights of suspects to move on with their lives. Well, the South Burlington Police Department made the decision earlier this month to cease posting mugshots on Facebook. The chief, in a Facebook post on Independence Day, wrote, quote, "A flurry of inappropriate comments and pictures could be harmful to someone who might be successful in a restorative justice system, is not subsequently charged or eventually has charges dismissed. I realize that this change in policy will result with a mix of reaction," wrote Chief Trevor Whipple. "I appreciate the discussion that has been held between myself and those who fall on both sides of this topic. In the end," the post continued, "I believe the best course of action is to no longer post mugshots to the police department's Facebook page. I want my deputies to get the hell up, stop eating donuts, and go out and do their jobs." All the mugshots who had appeared on the page previously were deleted last week. Whipple confirmed the chief said his department had weighed public transparency versus posting of the images. The discussion was made after careful consideration and took into account thoughts from the community as well. Whipple said in an interview the department had been posting mugshots for about 2 years. When it was first proposed to me, it was a great idea, Whipple said, of the initial decision to post mugshots. We're in an era where we want to be transparent. We want the world to know that we're not killing innocent, unarmed black men. When I look at the problems around the country about loss of trust in the police agencies, much of it is because of the lack of transparency. Actually, no, it's about the police being in a fatal situation with unarmed black people and shooting their way out of it. That's really what it's about. Well, by putting up the mud shots, the chief continued, I thought it was a great way to say, here's the folks we're engaging with in an arrest situation, and to let the world know that way, if there was a concern about any sort of targeting, profiling, you name it, well, it could be seen. A few months ago, everything changed with the way community members reacted to mugshots posted on Facebook, Whipple said. So again, because the public's changing the way they think, we have to change the way we do business. Yes, it suddenly evolved, he says, into almost an era of or an area of amusement to make fun of and humiliate, and in some cases, people who had been arrested, he said. This was not my intent. It was not the goal of putting mugshots on Facebook, and that it became a permanent record of something that might not be permanent in the end. The court may rule otherwise. Mugshots will continue to be shared with journalists through regular media release protocols, he added. The photos are accessible through Vermont Public Records requests. South Burlington Police will also continue to post arrest narratives and news releases, Whipple said. Whipple said the response to the department's decision has been mostly positive. Suspects taken into custody typically give their information and fingerprints to the police and stand for a mugshot. The police then often distribute the photo to the media, who choose whether to make it a public story. Some law enforcement take transparency to the next level, posting mugshots on Facebook pages where strangers and community members alike produce a string of comments and occasionally are joined by the accused in the discussion. Oh, look, I'm famous. I got my mugshot on Facebook. Our policy is two things, he says. First, we owe it to the public that we serve them and keep them safe and aware of what's going on in the city of Winooski. And the second is that we feel that under the Freedom of Information Act, we're just taking part in that by releasing that information, Herbert says. Herbert said all of Whipple's reasons for discounting and posting of mugshots are valid. I just stand behind the fact that I feel that we owe it to our society to serve and provide this information, he said. We're not out to subject anyone to ridicule or public humiliation in any way. That's up to the public to do. Whipple said the department's commitment to restorative justice is a larger factor in the policy change. One of the tenets of a restorative process is if you embrace this restorative process and you're successful, then you leave it without a record and hopefully learning a whole lot about yourself and about your actions and how they've harmed others. Whipple said this really is, once it's been on the web, I don't think it ever goes away. Rutland County, Vermont police avoid posting mugshots on Facebook because it's not the department's aim with the social medium, adding a Chief David Cowell says. Our Facebook page is designed primarily to keep the public informed about what's going on in their community and what's going on inside their police department, Coble said. It's not designed to be a who's who gallery of who we've recently arrested. Whipple acknowledged there is always room for change or adjustment of policy in the future. Social media is one area where Whipple said his department will continue to reevaluate its approach. At the end of the day, I don't regret doing it for the time we did, Whipple said. I think the reason was honorable. We did it with good intentions, but I think a good lesson in reviewing what you do, even though you're doing something for the honorable reason, it makes sense, and it's accomplishing the goal you want, that sometimes things change, and maybe we need to change how we do business. Do they get paid for arrests? Doing business.
Yes.
Back away from the police car. We're doing business here. Well, moving on today, of course, we do have the Obama news. Yes, the dreaded Obama news.
Yes.
Yes, one more unarmed black man who is not yet dead. But don't you worry, America. We're working on it more and more every day. Well, President Obama, we all know about him granting clemency to turkeys at Thanksgiving. Yes, we do. Well, he granted more clemency today to 46 men and women who have spent years in prison for non-violent drug offenses. Their punishments didn't fit the crimes, Obama said in a video announcing the commutations. I believe these folks deserve their second chance. 46 commutations, the most granted by a president in a single day since at least Lyndon Johnson administration of the 1960s. All involved drug crimes, mostly cocaine trafficking. Prisoners will be released by November 10th so that they can definitely take advantage of the new Flocka drug craze. Well, the White House first disclosed the commutations in its official Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes, in a post saying that nearly all of those individuals would have already served their time and returned to society if they were convicted of the exact same crime today. Well, yeah, but they weren't, asshole. Well, in his video, Obama said that the people whose sentences he commuted were not hardened criminals, but the overwhelming majority had been sentenced to at least 20 years. 14 of them had been sentenced to life for nonviolent drug offenses. I believe that in its heart, America is a nation of second chances. Well, yeah, we gave you 2 terms. Well, the announcement kicks off a week of presidential votes. Evotes. No, a week of presidential events devoted to changes in the criminal justice system, including the speech Tuesday to the NAACP. Yes, the National Convention, and a visit Thursday to a federal prison in Oklahoma. Just in time for a killing. That's right. Noting that Republicans have also expressed interest in criminal justice reform, Obama said the nation is spending too much money on incarceration of individuals who received long sentences for relatively minor crimes. Oh, he thinks drug charges are minor. Well, the latest batch of commutations brings Obama's overall number of commutations to 89 people during his presidency. He has granted full pardons to another 64 people. Wow, he's got a lot of friends on the inside. Well, Obama sent letters to the prisoners whose sentences he commuted today. I am granting your application because you have demonstrated the potential to turn your life around. In jail? How? By charging by the bend over in the showers? What? Yes, Obama wrote to Jerry Allen Bailey in the case of the federal prison in Jessup, Georgia. Now it's up to you to make the most of this opportunity. Deputy Attorney General Sally Quillian Yates said the president asked the Justice Department over last year to develop a criteria to justify commutations for nonviolent, low-level offenders who received harsh sentences. that they would today because of changed punishment guidelines. We will continue to recommend to the president appropriate candidates for clemency, Yates said, and we will continue to work with Congress on recalibrating our sentencing laws for non-violent drug offenders. White House counsel Neil Eagleson said that he expects Obama to issue more commutations and pardons in the months ahead, but those will not be enough to fix decades of overly punitive sentencing policies. The topic of his NAACP speech Tuesday. In that speech, Obama plans to argue on behalf of the congressional legislation designed to repair inequities in the criminal justice system, including harsh sentences for nonviolent crimes. The president is expected to meet with inmates themselves during his trip Thursday to a federal prison near Oklahoma City. And of course, you know what that means, Gilbert.
Yes.
You know, we've got the Obamacare now, where nobody can work the website, right? So he's going to spend untold billions of dollars now on pretty much a get-out-of-jail-free website that, of course, no inmate could navigate. Yes, that's what he's going to do. Mark my words.
Yes.
Well, moving on today, of course, what else do we got? What else could we possibly have in this nightmare of topics? Well, I'll tell you what I got. Yes, the world's longest inflatable water slide, and it's making a splash in the USA. Yes, it is. That's right. In Vernon, New Jersey, the action park is officially in the record books after testing a new ride befitting of the park's wild and storied history. The world's longest inflatable water slide was officially certified by Guinness World Records Friday at 1,975 feet long. A select few employees were the first and only individuals granted the opportunity to take the slide for a spin Friday afternoon because it's not yet approved by the State Department of Community Affairs. The world's largest water slide brought over people from New Zealand and rebuilt... wow. That's... No, they didn't bring people over from New Zealand. No,
yes.
Yes, we got the goat farmers from Zealand. Everybody knows the goat farmers know inflatable water slides. Oh, man.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
No. I told you. No. That world's largest water slide was brought over from New Zealand.
Yes.
And, of course, rebuilt on Mountain Creek's ski slopes. It's made of 10,000 feet of polyvinyl chloride, the same material used to make bounce houses. Built by Jimmy Hunt and the Live More Awesome Foundation. The water slide consists of 20 100-foot sections, each weighing about 600 pounds. With a total of nearly 6 million stitches capable of holding 25 pounds each, it took 600 hours to stitch and assemble the plastic on the ride. It takes 2 generators. Restorative justice is a larger factor in the policy change. One of the tenets of a restorative process is if you embrace this restorative process. Well, yeah, but they weren't, asshole. Well, in his video, Obama said that the people whose sentences he commuted were not hardened criminals, but the overwhelming majority had been sentenced to at least 20 years. 14 of them had been sentenced to life for nonviolent drug offenses. I believe that in its heart, America is a nation of second chances. Well, yeah, we gave you 2 terms. Well, the announcement kicks off a week of presidential votes. Yes, e-votes. No, a week of presidential events devoted to changes in the criminal justice system, including the speech Tuesday to the NAACP. Yes, the National Convention, and a visit Thursday to a federal prison in Oklahoma. Just in time for a killing. That's right. Noting that Republicans have also expressed interest in criminal justice reform, Obama said the nation is spending too much money on incarceration of individuals who received long sentences for relatively minor crimes. Oh, he thinks drug charges are minor. Well, the latest batch of commutations brings Obama's overall number of commutations to 89 people during his presidency. He has granted full pardons to another 64 people. Wow, he's got a lot of friends on the inside. Well, Obama sent letters to the prisoners whose sentences he commuted today. I am granting your application because you have demonstrated the potential to turn your life around. In jail? How? By charging by the bend over in the showers? What? Yes, Obama wrote to Jerry Allen Bailey in the case of the federal prison in Jessup, Georgia. Now it's up to you to make the most of this opportunity. Deputy Attorney General Sally Quillian Yates said the president asked the Justice Department over last year to develop a criteria to justify commutations for nonviolent, low-level offenders who received harsh sentences, that they would today because of changed punishment guidelines. We will continue to recommend to the president appropriate candidates for clemency, Yates said, and we will continue to work with Congress on recalibrating our sentencing laws for nonviolent drug offenders. White House counsel Neil Eagleson said that he expects Obama to issue more commutations and pardons in the months ahead, but those will not be enough to fix decades of overly punitive sentencing policies. The topic of his NAACP speech Tuesday. In that speech, Obama plans to argue on behalf of the congressional legislation designed to repair inequities in the criminal justice system, including harsh sentences for nonviolent crimes. The president is expected to meet with inmates themselves during his trip Thursday to a federal prison near Oklahoma City. And, of course, you know what that means, Gilbert.
Yes.
You know, we've got the Obamacare now where nobody can work the website, right? So he's going to spend untold billions of dollars now on pretty much a get-out-of-jail-free website that, of course, no inmate could navigate. Yes, that's what he's going to do. Mark my words.
Yes.
Well, moving on today, of course, what else do we got? What else could we possibly have in this nightmare of topics? Well, I'll tell you what I got. Yes, the world's longest inflatable water slide, and it's making a splash in the USA. Yes, it is. That's right. In Vernon, New Jersey, the action park is officially in the record books after testing a new ride befitting of the park's wild and storied history. The world's longest inflatable water slide was officially certified by Guinness World Records Friday at 1,975 feet long. A select few employees were the first and only individuals granted the opportunity to take the slide for a spin Friday afternoon because it's not yet approved by the State Department of Community Affairs. The world's largest water slide brought over people from New Zealand and rebuilt... wow. That's... No, they didn't bring people over from New Zealand. No,
yes.
Yes, we got the goat farmers from Zealand. Everybody knows the goat farmers know inflatable water slides. Oh, man.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
No. I told you, no. That world's largest water slide was brought over from New Zealand.
Yes.
And, of course, rebuilt on Mountain Creek's ski slopes. It's made of 10,000 feet of polyvinyl chloride, the same material used to make bounce houses. Built by Jimmy Hunt and the Live More Awesome Foundation. The water slide consists of 20 100-foot sections, each weighing about 600 pounds. With a total of nearly 6 million stitches capable of holding 25 pounds each, it took 600 hours to stitch and assemble the plastic on the ride. It takes 2 generators and 15 blowers to keep the water slide inflated. It kind of sounds like me on a Friday night. Yes, a 1.8-inch base separates riders from the ground, allowing for no weight restrictions for the record-breaking water slide. The slide uses about 1,000 gallons per hour to operate, provided by Mountain Creek Resort's snowmaking system. The average water slide takes 10 to 30 seconds to ride, but the world's longest water slide is 60 to 90 seconds long, according to Action Park. Non-employees may have to wait a while to ride mammoth contraption. Yes, the mammoth contraption. Oh, asshole. How about the mammoth contraption? Oh, Action Park spokeswoman Lauren Scurato says that there is currently no timeline for when the water slide will be state certified and open to the public. Citing a lengthy process, it is our hope that this news story will bring the lines and therefore the money and therefore the permit. Bet you didn't know Monsanto made water slides. Yes, there you go. Well, hey, now we go from the incredibly, stupid. Yes, we go from the incredibly stupid to the incredibly creepy.
Yes.
Yeah, I said creepy.
Yes.
Did you hear me? I said creepy.
Yes.
How about this? A woman and her 5-year-old son found a camera under a Starbucks bathroom sink in Lancaster, California. According to a local news outlet there, KTLA, it was propped up on paper towels facing the toilet and reporting, KTLA reported. We were obviously really disturbed by the incident. Jamie Riley, a spokeswoman for Starbucks, yes, because that's the bathroom. Yes, the woman who found the camera did not want to be identified, but told KTLA reporters that her 5-year-old son spotted the phone first. I noticed he was staring at the sink, a little bit perplexed. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, "Mommy, why is there a phone under there?" This is good. I gotta have a cigarette. Hang on a second.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mommy, why is there a phone under there?
Yeah.
Yes, well. Once notified, Starbucks employees immediately contacted police, according to Riley. Quote, "We take our obligation to provide a safe environment very seriously, both for customers and our own partners who work in our store," she said. The deputies discovered that the cell phone was running in video recording mode. Lieutenant Joseph Fender in the Lancaster Sheriff's Station told KTLA, "This is the second such incident to take place in a Starbucks in recent months. A man was arrested in Walnut Creek, California in April after reportedly placing a camera twice in a Starbucks bathroom, according to reports." Riley said employees are trained to inspect bathrooms for cameras and other devices on a regular basis. Really? Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
Welcome to Starbucks. I'm Joe. I'm your trainer. I'm going to run your training today. Now, rule number 1 when you're working at Starbucks, of course, bathrooms. When we go into the bathrooms at Starbucks employees, it is legally compelling to you to check for video cameras. Is that just me, or does that seem a little odd?
Yes.
We train our employees to constantly be scanning for cameras in the can. I was at Tim Hortons earlier today.
Yes.
And, I was even in their bathroom.
Yes.
I just can't picture any Tim Hortons manager or even trainee or employee explaining to the new recruits that you got to check the bathroom for cameras. Yes, Riley said the employees are trained to inspect the bathrooms for cameras and other devices on a regular basis, but all the incidences still occasionally happen. This isn't the first time we've seen it, but I wouldn't call it common, she said, and I'm sure it's not specific to Starbucks. Oh, no, right. Yeah, it's Dunkin' Donuts, too. Well, we did a little searching on the internet,
yes.
And of course, we found the on YouTube, of course,
yes,
because everything's on YouTube.
Yes,
we did indeed find the official Starbucks employees perv cam videos. I'm kidding. No, we didn't. Wouldn't it be great if we did, though? Yeah.
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Oh, good. Louie's still awake. Okay. Well, finally today, yes, finally, we finally made it to the end of this bitch. Yes, I said bitch. Mm-hmm. Yes, we finally make it to the end today, and what do you think the end story is, Gilbert? Do you think I've got some Texas news? Yes, I do, just for Sharon Chesley. Yes, I do, Sharon, and it's not about horses. No, but I'll bet you she knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll bet you she does. Of course, what I'm talking about is Whataburger takes a stand against Texas's open carry law. God damn it. That's right. The popular Texas restaurant chain Whataburger announced it will not allow customers to openly carry guns in their restaurants despite a new law signed by Governor Greg Abbott in June. They will, however, allow cameras in the bathrooms. Yes, we've had many customers and employees tell us that they're uncomfortable being around someone with a visible firearm who is not a member of law enforcement, the company's CEO Preston Atkinson wrote in a statement released July 2nd, just 2 days before Independence Day prick. And I would submit that back in the old days...
Yes.
Yeah, back in them there old days, everybody was packing heat. They just don't like it now because some of them might be better than you. Well, as a business, we now have to listen to that value and feedback, he wrote. It's bullshit, I tell you, bullshit. Well, Texas's new open carry law takes effect, of course, in January, but property owners can decide to prohibit open carry, as Whataburger has done. Atkinson said customers will still be allowed to carry concealed licensed guns in the company is supportive of gun rights. See how they did that? Oh, we support you anti-gun freaks, and we support you gun freaks. Just keep buying Whataburger.
Yes.
I want you to know that we proudly serve the gun rights community. I personally enjoy hunting and also have my concealed carry license, Atkinson said. Right, so you're coming out, you're saying all this.
Yes.
You don't want open carry. You don't want people walking around, with guns that you can see.
Yes.
But it's okay for all those guns that we can't see. Hello, howdy, welcome to Whataburger. Hey, nice piece. or it's, hey, howdy, welcome to Whataburger. Don't shoot me. Nobody really knows what the differences will be, although it is said, actually, that in the drive-through lines at Whataburger, there won't be so much holdup with people comparing their guns with the guy in the thing there, and oh yeah, I got my resting 460 on here. Yes, Whataburger has more than 700 locations across 10 states. Industry experts say, of course, Whataburger's decision is expected to spur other restaurants to enact similar policies. According to the Associated Press, there were, of course, mixed reactions from people on Twitter to the news. One person writes, "And I thought In-Out Burger were liberals I had to worry about." There you go, gang. A little coffee and cigarettes from yesterday there for you. Monday Mocha. That's right. HTLA at Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. It's live at 3 p.m. right now at HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan, where it is, my God, 76 degrees, thunder and lightning, all kinds of weird, nasty clouds in the city today. I think the Ghostbusters have been screwing with Zool again. Yeah. It's very supernatural out there, scary as hell, and don't play frisbee tag. Yeah. Well, hey, welcome to the show today. It's your Tuesday. We're almost, we're halfway to Hump Day. That's right, and then that's halfway to, the Friday Frap and another weekend. Let's hope we all survive till then. And let's see, what do we got here? We got a lot of stuff on the show today, of course. Gilbert has prepared a special song. Yes, he's going to sing in honor of our associate producer, Greg Howe, all the way from St. Catharines, Ontario, who's celebrating his birthday today. Yes. Oh, and news. We got news, too. Yes, today, after 10 years, Showtime, gang. That's right, that Pluto flyby. The team's still waiting for a word. Don't really know anything yet. We got some crappy photos, though, for our $780 million. Yeah. That's right. And right out of nowhere, absolutely out of nowhere, the Iran deal is done. Yeah. Yeah, we got extensive coverage on that today, and apparently we'll tell you about it. Also, Mike Huckabee is pissed about something, and we think it's because he didn't get to do the Iran deal, of course. Well, a New York family is seeking charges after winning their $5.9 million settlement in a New York City chokehold death case. Also today, DEA documents show El Chapo began his escape plots back in 2014, and a man claims self-defense in bear shooting, saying he was packing. Yes, all that and so much more today. So, hey, come on in, grab yourself a cup, have a seat, light one up. It is coffee time. You gotta love that theme. Or not. I actually hear it in my nightmares, so that's just me. Well, hey, welcome to the show today, of course. Your coffee and cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. And quite the show lined up for you today. It's going to be a good one. I got those birthday shout-outs to Greg Howe, of course, St. Catharines, Ontario. He's celebrating the big one today. I don't know, what was he, 86, I believe? Yeah, something like that. Well, it's okay, Greg. We got a nice song prepared for you by Gilbert today, and he's going to be belting that one out for you. And wow, I can hardly wait. Welcome to the show, of course. Your Tuesday Espresso for the 14th of July, 2015. Yes, 76 degrees in New York. Thunder, lightning, heavy rain. The clouds of Zool are over Manhattan. And it's, I don't know. It's weird out there. I'll tell you that. It's weird. But hey, got to have the sponsors sponsoring the weird, and we got to have people to run the equipment that the sponsors gave us to run the weird. So, the one, the only former social media goddess herself, the one, the only Jenny McCartney is in the booth today, pushing the buttons for us today on the show. And of course, she's pushing the buttons on that PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer. That's right. If you're into audio, professional or otherwise, you want to get yourself on over to PreSonus.com and check out what the best can really be. Also, this show is brought to you by the fine folks, Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 fine locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs, and you will not find a hidden video camera in any of their bathrooms. That's right, Tim Hortons, always fresh. And now I guess I must move along here and introduce the guest/co-host that we have on the show. And of course, he really needs no introduction. Actually, no, he needs a really highly detailed, very long, drawn-out introduction because nobody knows who this man is. That's right, the film director extraordinaire, 40-year Hollywood career, nominations up the yin-yang for all kinds of Academy Award goodness, and won none of them. Which, of course, why now in his retirement up in Canada we can get him on the show. Of course, the one, the only, Mr. Louis Lawless, all the way from the beautiful Mill Bay Film and Television Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Are you there today, sir?
He called me, and he called me, and he kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
That's excellent. I'm glad to see you're right on point today.
Wait a minute, I got lost. H-T-L-A. Oh, H-T-L-A.
Mm-hmm.
Hell is that?
Mm-hmm. That's your phone, actually.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
I'm not really sure about that because I don't know if she's got that button fixed yet, and of course she's. You're really taking your life in your hands here because I don't know what to tell you right now.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
I guess that would be a no then. The button doesn't work. Well, I guess Jenny has piped you through. Yeah. Yes, coming to us from about 8 blocks down the street from his sprawling, spacious, luxurious, spared no expense apartment, of course, down the street from HDLA Studio 2 here in downtown Manhattan is the one, the only, Gilbert Gottfried. And do you have an introduction today that works?
And this is, I that up.
Of course not. I don't know why I expect, any day to be different with you. Well... professional.
I'm ready.
Yeah, that's the professional I'm talking about. Or not. Well, thank you, Gilbert, for being here.
Yes.
And Louis as well. Thank you both, as always. And
I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, if you're talking about introductions, I'm sorry, you're pretty much an unknown. I had to really wing it.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Oh, Louis, it's the button doesn't work.
That was a mistake on my part.
All right, well, don't swear anymore. Well, welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you here as always. And yeah. So, Gilbert.
Yes.
We told you yesterday that, of course, Greg Howe, his birthday was coming up.
Yes.
We asked you to prepare a little song.
Yes.
In honor of the man's birthday, and to be totally truthfully honest with you, I don't know how old he is. I don't. Well, a lot of people, they put their profile info on their profile on Facebook,
yes.
right? And, most of the folks, they'll throw their birthday in there. It's not really a big deal,
yes.
But I guess there's some out there that fear repercussions from the CIA or Al-Qaeda or something. So I don't know how old he is.
Yes.
But, I asked you to prepare a little song for him.
Yes.
Just something, some Broadway show tune thing that you do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, without further ado, and before we get rolling on the big show today, let's hand it off to you, Gilbert.
Yes.
You've got the floor, sir. You got the mic. You've got headphones. You've got... You've got all kinds of things at your disposal. So I'll leave it to you to roll it here. So Greg Howe, happy birthday, happy 86th. And here is Gilbert Gottfried singing just for you and your birthday, sir.
Take me to your heart. Show me where to start. Let me play the part of your first love. Oh, the stars are right. Let us make a wish tonight, my love. Pity those who wait. Trust in love to fate. Finding out too late that they've lost it. Never let it go. You will never know the ways of love.
Oh, my God. Oh.
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Okay, Louis, looks like you're safe. The button is working. Yeah. Well, thank you, Gilbert. That was...
Yes.
Oh, man, and they say you didn't have a Broadway career. What the hell? I don't get it. I'm with you all the way. In fact, I'll be your agent.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to the top, baby.
Yes.
Well, there you go, Greg Howe. Wishing you a happy 94th birthday. And
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Louis, we're on it. We're dispensing. God, Gilbert sang a bloody song. Come on.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yes. It's all about the feel good of the year. Yes. Well, there you go, Greg. So have a good birthday, and I'm sure everybody else wishes you a happy birthday, too, except, of course, for those folks that want you dead. Well, come on, Gilbert. Everybody's got somebody who wants them dead.
Yes.
You know, if you don't have somebody that wants you dead, then you're just not doing it right.
No, I would say, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to do the damn show. Right. Okay, because now we've done the Greg thing. Now it's time to move on so that we can actually get to, that lovely weather report on time. Well, moving on today, of course, lots and lots and lots of big news going on. And I guess, well, at least we picked this thing for the first story of the day. Yes, and of course the story is about Pluto.
Yes,
and I don't know, to be or not to be.
Yes,
whatever. Well, after 10 years waiting in the wings, the team says showtime, but the Pluto flyby team is still waiting. Must be packet loss.
Yes.
Wonder who their wireless connection provider is. Well, in Laurel, Maryland, as the clock ticked 0 and applause bellowed from a large crowd gathered here, the scientists and engineers standing on the makeshift stage let out a few cheers, but were surprisingly hesitant. Yes, sure, they were excited, but it wasn't the kind of raw emotion you'd expect from a group of people that had to spend nearly 10 years of waiting for that moment. Kind of like when Pam Anderson and I finally got together. It was something I'd looked forward to all my life.
Yes.
Back when she was 16 years old and
yes.
And young and untouched and
yes.
Yeah, and to want her so bad. And then to finally get the chance, well, almost 20 years later, and she's all diseased up and stuff. I gotta tell you, it was a letdown.
Yes,
it's really was. But well, why the reluctance to celebrate, you ask? Well, the New Horizons group still isn't sure whether the mission to Pluto was a complete success, and that won't be known until about 9:00 Tuesday night now. Launched in January 2006, the New Horizons spacecraft set out to take the world's closest and most detailed image of Pluto ever. Yeah, detailed. You seen the fuzzy crap they're sending back? Huh? Oh man, I'm telling you, it's not good. Yeah,
yes.
it's just not.
Oh, it's not awful, but just not good.
Right. Yes, well, as the spacecraft makes its approach to Pluto, the team says it was in full health, and scientists expected the spacecraft to send the images and data back as planned. On Tuesday morning, however, the group had to trust the spacecraft would do just that. At 7:49 this morning, the spacecraft should have been less than 8,000 miles away from Pluto, but as scheduled, the spacecraft went offline around 11:17 p.m. Eastern last night, and the New Horizons team hasn't heard from it since. Oh, it's okay. It's just $780 billion. It's fine. Yes, it's a little bit surreal right now because we've been planning for it for so long, says Alice Bowman, New Horizons Missions Operations Manager. Well, you see, you put a woman in charge. That's right. It's hard to believe that we're actually on that timeline and we're seeing those milestones be passed. Well, among those in attendance to celebrate the achievement today at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab was the family of Clyde Tombaugh, the man who discovered Pluto in 1930. Tombaugh died in 1997, but his family has been involved with the mission since it started for lack of anything better to do. Well, the wait is like taking a photo and not getting the developed picture print back for 10 years, says Annette Tombaugh, Clyde Tombaugh's daughter. Well, Annette, that's the way it used to be before digital. You take the picture, send it off to the lab,
Yes.
and you know, weeks later you go back and they don't have your number. And,
Yes.
you know, it's all the pictures of you and your girlfriend. And you're wondering who out there somewhere has pictures of you banging your girlfriend. Not of course that I would know anything about that.
Yes.
No. Sorry, Heidi, I still don't know where they are. Well, over 10 years, a lot has changed for the Tombaugh family, too. Clyde Tombaugh's wife and his younger sister both died since the spacecraft launch. Clyde Tombaugh's legacy, though, lives on through the project. It's nice that the legacy lives on through the project, even though the family's all dead. Well, after my dad died, Alan Stern, the principal investigator of New Horizons, thought it would be very appropriate if he could get this project accepted, which he finally did, to have a little piece of Dad go along with it. Would you stuff his penis in a box and put it on board? So he asked our family if there was any ashes that we could donate to the mission. And there was a small portion they put in the capsule on the spacecraft. No idea whether the ashes are actually part of his penis. Well, Rep. Chris Van Hollen, a Democrat from Maryland, called the mission a great achievement for humanity and said he hopes it inspires the next generation of failed science. That's what he said. You thought I was making that up. No, I'm not making that up. Well, not all the photos are created equally, of course, he told USA Today. It's a very special photo of a place we all conjured up in our imagination. And this is a moment where we can actually see it close up and learn from what we see. These are kind of some of the thoughts I had when I first saw my first Playboy. Well, that's that. I got that out of the way.
Yes.
Thank God. And is Pluto still a planet or not a planet? Or, well, they don't know that either. But moving on to other things that happen, isn't it interesting?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that the Confederate flag, that's just a distraction for this over here that we pushed through while you weren't looking. And then how about, of course, this today? Oh, well, look at Pluto. Look. Oh, we can't because the photos aren't coming back. Oh, well, that's okay. We pushed through the Iran nuclear deal while you weren't looking at nothing. Yes, we did. And here's some highlights. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. That's right. In Vienna, the Associated Repression. No, the Associated Press reports Iran and 6 world powers reached an amazing, speedy landmark deal. Yes, they did that today. Meant to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. A look at the main points right here, babies. Enrichment. Iran will reduce the number of uranium-enriching centrifuges it has from almost 20,000 down to 6,104, and reduce the number of those in use from some 10,000 to about half of that. Those limits will be in place for 10 years, then gradually relaxed over the next 3. Iran also commits to using only its current models rather than the more advanced centrifuges it had wanted to install. Centrifuges spin uranium to concentrate it into levels that can range from reactor fuel to fissile core of a nuclear weapon. Their stockpile. Iran has allegedly rid itself of stockpiled uranium that was enriched to one step from weapons grade. It's now committed to reducing its remaining stockpile. Less enriched uranium is harder to use for nuclear arms, from about 5 tons to 300 kilograms, less than 700 pounds, for 15 years. U.S. officials say that at this level it would take Iran at least a year to enrich enough uranium for a nuclear weapon. Isn't it nice? We've slowed them down to a year. That's right, the underground site, too. Iran is committed to convert its Fordo enrichment site, dug deep into mountainside and thought impervious to air attack, into a research center. The site will still house centrifuges, but they will make medical isotopes instead of enriching uranium, and there will be less than a tenth as many of them as there originally were. It's going to be mighty sparse around that underground secret base. And, of course, transparency. Iran will give more access to its nuclear program to the UN Nuclear Agency if that agency identifies a suspicious site. An arbitration panel with a Western majority will decide whether Iran has to give the agency access within 24 days. All sites, including military ones, may be inspected if the agency is solid evidence of undeclared nuclear activity. Reactors in processing and reprocessing. Yes, Iran must redesign its nearly built reactor at Arak so it can't produce plutonium for nuclear weapons. Well, who's going to cover all that money? I guess we'll get there.
Yes.
Well, sanctions. All U.S. and European Union nuclear-related sanctions will be suspended after experts have verified that Iran is hewing to its commitments. If at any time Iran fails to fulfill its obligations, those sanctions are supposed to snap back into place. An arms embargo will stand for 5 years and restrictions on Iran's ballistic missile programs for 8. Iran will get some access to currently restricted sensitive technologies. Oh, that's good. So it seems like a win-win, 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 win all the way down for Iran. You know, I guess that's how they pushed it through.
Yes.
All right. Well, you can't have missiles that can hit us for 8 years. Yes, because by that time we'll have lasers. Pew pew. Well, we got more on that deal. In fact, what each side won and lost when we come back from our first commercial break. And, yeah, there you go. Next window, yeah.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Wait a sec. I found our colors.
We've made a decision.
Great. Let's go get you set up. We need the brushes. You should check out our workshop.
Push your color boundaries while staying well within your budget walls.
I want to paint something else.
More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Bare Premium Plus Interior Paint. Only at the Home Depot and now only $23.46 a gallon.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Take me to your heart. Show me where to start. Let me play the part of your first love. All the stars are right. Let us make a wish tonight, my love.
Ah, yes, Gilbert. Thank you, my love. You know, you're running a dangerous game.
Yes.
You're running a dangerous game. You know you are.
Yes.
Because we don't know if Greg Howe is homosexual. We don't. Now I'm guessing maybe not, because I think on some of the photos I've checked on his Facebook there.
Yes.
I think he has a wife and kids. But, these days, with this gender fluidity spray all over the place, who can tell? Yeah, when you got guys out there, banging horses. Yeah.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Right, so go love a horse. Yeah, well, what are you going to do, right?
And now I have to bring up that piece of trivia that everyone feels like they're telling people that they don't know.
Yes, the good old trivia. Yeah, I wonder what kind of crap you're going to have for me today, huh? What joy are you going to bring? What do you got?
Did you ever see the Charlie's Angels episode with Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah, again, when I was like 7 or something. Oh, no, correction. I think I told you.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was 12. Yeah. Charlie's Angels, yeah, not that great of a spank show. Yeah. Well, gang, welcome back to the show. Your Coffee and Cigarettes Tuesday Espresso for this Tuesday, the 14th of July, 2015. 77 degrees in New York right now, still with the supernatural cloud cover over the city.
Yes.
But Zool is no longer angry as the rain has stopped.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Well, good. Why don't you move over there? You know, I don't think your film Unrepentant is knocking down the box office there, and well, hell, it's not even in the Walmart movie bin. It's not. It's not really moving like there's no tomorrow, Louis. So I don't know. Maybe you should try something else.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, yeah, you could get into porn. Yeah. Actually, hell, in light of recent events, you could get into animal porn. Well, moving along today, just before the commercial break, we told you, of course, of the Iran nuclear deal that was just shoved right on past while we're all looking at blurry pics of Pluto. Yes. And, well, to further that story, kind of give you a part deux. Yeah. Yes, I do that part deux for my Canadian listeners. Well, before we do that part deux, of course, we do have to pay our dues, I guess, to the NAACP. Yes, that's right. It's time for the Coffee and Cigarettes Traffic, HTLA Radio 1's Copter 1. Oh, wow. Well, whatever. You try saying it. Yeah. Anyway, Brock Favors is the resident HTLA black man, and he's, of course, up in Chopper 1 to give us the traffic. Brock, take it away.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here in the chopper, but I got to tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh, no, stop. Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10. It is massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do, oh, goddamn, we're gonna die in this mother. Oh, my God! Woo! Okay. Okay, I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, mother... Yeah. Oh, mama! With a 405 is up right now, ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Oh, help me!
Alrighty. Thank you, Brock, for that weather. No, geez. Imagine if you did the weather. Yeah. Actually, what am I saying? I wish he did the weather. Yeah. Well, condolences, of course, to the Favors family. Once again there. Thank you, Brock, for, giving your all for that traffic update. Yes. Well, so we've fulfilled our NAACP obligation today.
Yes.
And now it seems we need to fill our special needs obligation. Yes, Down syndrome. It's inside of you. Yes, it is time once again, gang, to go to our man with all the answers, the weatherman, meteorologist extraordinaire that operates at HTLA 2 here from a small dark closet with, I think it's a 19-inch LCD monitor. He's in there. Well, he's technically really not there right now.
Yes.
No, he's actually out in the field. The report today is coming from Texas. We've sent him down there because we don't like him.
Yes.
The one, the only Frankie McDonald with the weather. Frankie. Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Yes.
I have to actually say it so he can hear me. Okay, Frankie, you can go ahead now.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is headed towards Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015. It's going to bring up to 50-plus millimeters of rain, especially on Tuesday evening. It's going to bring a lot of flooding into windy conditions. It's going to rain sideways and wind drift rain. Since the tropical disturbance is moving northward to the Gulf of Mexico, that's going to bring a ton of rain in Houston, Texas, Galveston, Texas, and the surrounding communities as well. It's going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to bring windy conditions, and the sewers will back up in the streets. It's going to bring a lot of heavy rain in Houston, Texas, and the surrounding areas and the heavy rain will continue on to Wednesday, June 17th, 2015 in Houston, Texas, and Galveston, Texas, and Tuesday, June 16th, 2015 will not be a good day to do your outdoor activities because it's going to be a lot of rain. I want people in Houston, Texas to clean out the storm drains before a major storm with a lot of rain to hit Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, especially during evening hours. It's going to bring a lot of rain, windy conditions, and sideways rain in Houston, Texas, and Tuesday, June 16th, 2015 into Wednesday, June 17th, 2015 will not be a good day to head to the beach and go swimming in Galveston, Texas, since it's going to be a lot of rain in Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, which is 6 to 10 inches of rain as well. People in Houston, Texas, be prepared. Have your rubber boots ready for raincoats, ready for raincoats, ready. When you go for a walk, wear your rain gear, wear your rubber boots, wear your raincoats to keep them dry. Don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you go for a walk. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Have your iPads charged, have your iPods charged, have your cell phones charged, have your laptops charged, have your tablets charged, have your 3G and 4G ready.
Yeah.
When you drive the car, don't drive to the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you drive the car, since it's going to be a lot of flooding in Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16, 2015 into Wednesday, June 17, 2015. Have your flashlights ready. Have your candles ready. Have your crank-up radio ready. Have your extra batteries ready. And have your bottled water ready as well. Since it's going to be a lot of flooding in Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16, 2015 into Wednesday, June 17, 2015.
Yeah, we got
if
that.
anybody living in Houston, Texas, be prepared for a major storm on Tuesday, June 16, 2015. Best of luck to you. People in Houston, Texas, be prepared for major storm on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015. Especially during evening hours.
Right.
Stay dry and be safe.
Okay, Frankie,
Take care.
that's enough. Thank you very much.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Oh, man.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I know. You hire him. yes, once again, that was the highly acclaimed, approved, all by HTLA executives, not frickin' me, Frankie McDonald. Right there, that's... And Frankie, that is great. Thanks. Next time, tell us about a storm that might be happening, I don't know, tomorrow or the next day. Whatever. That's fine. HTLA wants that. You know, they can have that crap.
Yes.
It's not my deal. You know, I'm just gonna go and I gotta go start my own radio station, Gilbert. I'm gonna.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna call it. I don't know. FUCK radio. I'm start my own, and I'm hiring Elena Garcia from Mexico. I'm doing it. I know good weather bits when I see them. I do, and she's definitely got good weather bits. All right, now, part 2 of that Iran story that I've really, really, really been looking forward to.
Yes.
The Iran nuclear deal, yes, what each side won and what each side lost. Both the United States and Iran made concessions, of course, to reach Tuesday's landmark nuclear agreement. And here's a look at what both sides won and lost. And as we really saw from the first report I gave you just before the commercial break, Iran won everything, we got nothing. Now, the United States, the European Union, and the UN Security Council imposed sanctions on Iran to pressure it to stop its nuclear program. These include restrictions on trade and seizure in foreign bank accounts of $150 billion of Iranian oil revenue. The United States wanted sanctions to remain in place until Iran implements the deal, with a snap-back mechanism to reimpose them if it cheats. SIG weapons embargoes and sanctions targeting Iran's ballistic missile program, support for terrorism would also remain. Iran wanted all sanctions removed immediately and without delay until our demands are met. Well, the result was Secretary of State John Kerry. Yes, he said Tuesday, relief of sanctions will only start when Tehran has met with the commitments of its nuclear agreement, including the removal of destruction of the Arak nuclear reactor core and shipping uranium stockpiles abroad. Then sanctions will remain and begin in stages. That's right. Nuclear fuel is produced through a process called uranium enrichment, which can supply power plants or bombs. Iran has installed thousands of centrifuge machines to enrich uranium, despite UN Security Council resolutions that called for the halt to such activity. Well, the U.S.'s goal was to close off the pathways to a bomb. President Obama said, Kerry said in 2013, the goal of international sanctions was for, quote, Iran to dismantle its nuclear program. Yes, Chief Negotiator Wendy Sherman said the final agreement would involve a lot of dismantling of their infrastructure. Obama had said Fordo's existence was not consistent with the peaceful nuclear program, and Kerry said, the heavy water plant in Arak is unacceptable. No, Iran said it would grow its enrichment infrastructure to 190,000 centrifuge machines to supply additional planned nuclear plants and weapons. Now, the result was Iran's 20,000 installed enrichment machines, including 10,000 that were running in 2013, will be reduced to about 5,000 for 10 years, while research and development on more efficient machines can be carried out. Iran also agreed to dilute or convert its entire stockpile of medium-enriched uranium to another form that would be monitored by international inspectors, and to ship its stockpile of low-enriched uranium to other countries, namely Syria and Iraq. The nuclear, non-nuclear Yes. No, it's the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, it's verified by the UN's nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency. Agency inspectors have access to Iran's declared nuclear sites, but have been barred from military sites where they keep all the nuclear weapons. Well, the U.S. sought access for inspectors to perform snap inspections anywhere nuclear work is suspected, including military sites. Obama has sought inspections so intrusive that Iran would not be able to produce enough fuel for a bomb. Iran, of course, refused to allow the IAEA inspectors to visit sensitive military sites, arguing that many of them are spies working for Iran's enemies. Now, what's the result of the deal? Well, the deal allows inspectors to access any site they deem suspicious, according to a fact sheet released by the White House. Iranian objections to some visits were handled through a dispute settlement process. According to the agreement, international monitoring will cover Iran's entire uranium supply chain, including mines, processing and enrichment facilities, reactors, and spent fuel, Obama says. The U.S. also wanted to require Iran to give a full accounting of its past actions. Iran has always denied that it conducted weapons-related research and said its program is peaceful. Evidence to the contrary was forged, Iran has said, as they shuffled all the nuclear weapons that they had off to Syria and Iraq. Well, the result of that little tiddy was before heading to Vienna for the last round of talks, Kerry said that the United States already knows with certainty that Iran did in fact in the past, and that full accounting is less important than monitoring and what it does in the future. Yes, well, the U.S. also wanted to seek a limit to Iran's nuclear program. Iran had sought freedom to expand its nuclear program indefinitely within a few years. How did they get together on this one? Well, the result was that Iran agreed to limit uranium enrichment and ship its uranium fuel overseas for 10 years. And at the end of 10 years' time, they could go get it. It also agreed to a 15-year ban on processing fuel that is close to being bomb-grade. Oh, so go ahead and make the bomb-grade stuff, just not the stuff that's close to it. Conducting uranium research outside of the processing facility, building new heavy water reactors, and accumulating fuel stockpiles greater than 200 pounds. The IAEA inspectors will have full access to Iran's nuclear program for 15 years, and some access forever, according to the State Department. Please don't riot. Please don't hurt us. Well, and you're probably asking yourself, geez, Crash, can you give me a timeline of what happens next? Yes, I can! Now, that landmark nuclear agreement between Iran and world powers includes a timeline for various actions. Economic sanctions on Iran will be lifted as Tehran implements the deal. Here are some highlights. Starting right now, Iran commits to an exclusively peaceful nuclear program for the duration of the agreement. Iran may continue to develop and improve advanced centrifuge machines that can be used to fuel reactors or bombs, but Iran cannot use them to enrich uranium for 10 years. First step, the United Nations Security Council will pass without delay a resolution endorsing the agreement reached Tuesday in Vienna. Over the next 60 days, Congress has that amount of time to review the deal. President Obama pledged today to veto any effort to derail this bullshit agreement. Well, within the next 90 days, Iran is to address evidence of its past nuclear weapons work obtained by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Answering the agency's questions is required for sanctions relief. Iran has long denied it conducted any weapons research. In 5 months from now, the IAEA will issue its report on Iran's past nuclear research, including any evidence of weapons work, by December 15th. And if they miss that deadline, then it'll be January 15th and February 15th. After 8.5 years, Iran may begin testing up to 30 of its most advanced centrifuge machines. After 10 years, Iran can begin to expand its capacity to process uranium using more efficient centrifuge machines. If Iran cheats, UN sanctions will be reimposed for a decade. After 15 years, Iran may be able to begin enriching uranium close to bomb grade and to expand enrichment activities to more than one facility. Until year 15, Iran will not build any plutonium reprocessing plant or new heavy water reactors that produce plutonium. Plutonium can be reprocessed to fuel a nuclear bomb. Limits on uranium enrichment and at Iran's fortified underground facility at Fordow. So there you go. That's the timeline, and as you will most obviously note in there, there's not a single mention of all the hundreds and hundreds of dirty bombs that they can make and explode through the entire 15 years. There you go. And then that's what we get.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're all looking at Pluto. Yeah. So there you go. And will anybody pay attention to that? Will they follow that?
Yes.
Will they No, they won't. Well, come on. We've got the CIA in this country and the NSA and Homeland Security.
Yes.
They're all doing shit that we don't like and we're not okay with. Right? So what, you think Iran's different? They don't have secret organizations. With many centrifuges. Well, yes, Pluto is icy, weird, and far away, and it finally got its nail-biting close-up. Yes, it did. Iran deal. Yeah. There you go. Well, in Laurel, Maryland, for the first time in its 4 billion-year life, Pluto got a visitor from Earth today, yes, or so anxious engineers hope, because they've lost contact with the satellite and have no clue. That's right, at 7:49 this morning, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft was scheduled to flash by Pluto's piebald face at a distance of less than 8,000 miles before leaving the planet in its cosmic dust. Never before has any spacecraft from any nation ventured remotely close to Pluto. There's a hitch, though, in this triumphant scenario, of course. The spacecraft is so busy collecting data that engineers say they haven't heard back from it since 11:17 p.m. Eastern last night. And it will remain and maintain its teasing silence until close to 9 p.m. tonight. The blackout apparently is by design. They were expecting this. But the New Horizons team is on edge. Team members can only hope that, well, we've prepared it well and thought of every contingency. Otherwise, we're dead in the water, says Alice Bowman. Yes, that lady who's in charge there of the team. She adds that, just when you send your child off, it's a mix of feeling nervous and proud at the same time. Really? You put $780 million into your child? Really? Well, ahead of the flyby, hundreds of scientists and other guests in a room near Mission Control were counted down in unison to the exact moment at 0. A roar rose from the crowd, which broke out in a sea of small American flags distributed for the occasion, made in China. Yes, just after the flyby time, the mission's principal investigator, Alan Stern of the Southwest Research Institute in Boulder, Colorado, noticed that New Horizons carries a 1991 postage stamp proclaiming Pluto not yet explored. You've lost contact with it. It was probably shot down by Klingons. A new picture taken by the spacecraft yesterday, released today, shows that Pluto may have a living, dynamic surface rather than an inert, unchanging terrain. The image offers 1,000 times better resolution than even the Hubble Space Telescope could take, and better still is yet to come. When he saw the image, he said, "Oh my goodness, Yes, there are craters everywhere, recalls Matthew Hill of the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, which manages the $780 million mission for NASA. The imagery got much richer just from yesterday to today, he said. The flyby offers a symbolic significance, but it's also a key moment for the mission, and many scientists are hanging on every byte of data that are coming out of the spacecraft. Unfortunately, since it was destroyed by the Klingons, there is, of course, no more data coming out of the spacecraft.
Yes.
Yes, and there's a bunch more history about the spacecraft here,
Yes.
and you know the story of the family, and,
Yes.
and the 10 years it's taken to get there.
Yes.
But you know we've lost contact with it. Who cares? You know, we've got other fish to fry
Yes.
here at the show. We
Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Thank you, Louis. It's good to see you're still awake. Moving on today, let's get into a little bit of politics that isn't Obama before I have to get into politics that is Obama. Yeah. Mike Huckabee is in the news once again today. Yes, he is. He's lashing out, bashing the Iran deal with LBJ ad reboot. Yes, not LGBT. Mike Huckabee is reaching back into campaign advertising history to bash President Obama's nuclear deal with Iran. Yes, he is. Yes, I can. That's right. His campaign posted an updated version of the famous or infamous Daisy ad, the 1964 television spot that President Lyndon Johnson's campaign used to attack Republican challenger Barry Goldwater as a nuclear warmonger. Both the LBJ and the Huckabee ad show a little girl counting up the number of petals she plans to pluck from the daisy. When she reaches 10, an ominous voice begins to reverse the count back to 0, and a nuclear explosion fills the black and white screen. Quote, "A threat to Israel is a threat to America," the Huckabee ad says. "Stand with Israel, reject a nuclear." That's all it says, a nuclear. Huckabee posted the ad on Friday and is nearly 200,000 views. Quote, "Everyone understands that once you go to a nuclear device that now you're talking about an apocalyptic type situation," Huckabee told Fox News. "Yeah, there's a guy I want in the White House. Mr. President, we're going to DEFCON 1, sir." "Oh, is this an apocalyptic type situation, gentlemen?" If Iran gets nuclear capacity, we're now looking at the apocalypse because these people are crazy enough to use it, first against Israel and eventually against us. I like how his foreign policy is second to none.
Yes.
Yes, we're in negotiations with Iran right now. I hate dealing with these people. Well, Lyndon Johnson's Daisy ad, which ended by telling viewers to vote for President Johnson on November 3rd, the stakes are too high for you to stay at home. Well, it's regarded as one of the most controversial ads of all time. Also, however, one of the most effective. How effective? Well, people still talk about it, even though it aired a grand total of one time, one night, on September 7th of 1964. See, so right there it shows you that just doing something once can have historical importance.
Yes.
I just wish the same could be said for our Frankie McDonald weather. And in other political news today, of course, we're moving on. Scott Walker, Mr. Nobody himself.
Yes.
Well, Walker's launch generates high intensity on, where do you think, Gilbert? Do you think maybe, I don't know, Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. I gotta say, man, you are so damn good. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker did not generate a massive amount of Facebook chatter regarding his presidential campaign announcement Monday. Well, wait a minute. If it didn't, the story just said he did. Which is it? But apparently those people who were talking about him did so with a higher level of intensity than all but one other candidate in the race. Intensity, that's
yes.
So they don't want you to talk about them. They want you to talk about them intensely.
Yes.
That reminds me of Chris Farley in the van down by the river. Now, Facebook announced Tuesday that 679,000 unique visitors on the social media platform generated 1.6 million interactions. Likes, posts, comments, and shares relating to Walker's announcement. Neither of those numbers is particularly remarkable, however, when you consider the numbers of coffee and cigarettes. Or results of other candidates on their announcement days, like Hillary Clinton, who got 5 for coffee. Only Senator Ted Cruz generated a higher ratio of interactions per user than Walker. Cruz launched his campaign on March 23rd, becoming the first major Republican candidate to announce his presidential ambitions, and generated 5.5 million interactions from 2.1 million users, a ratio of 2.62 interactions per user. Walker generated around 2.36 interactions per user. It should not be used without context of absolute volume, but it does measure the intensity of his audience, says Alan Rosenblatt, Senior Vice President at Turner 4D, a digital advocacy firm. It always makes me wonder, you know?
Yes.
Digital advocacy firms. I've heard of these companies before.
Yes.
I'm like, what are they? A bunch of guys in suits that just sit around nice boardrooms going, yeah, I'm all about the internet. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, we can get reruns of Dukes of Hazzard. I don't even know what that is, Gilbert.
Yes.
Digital advocacy. And how do they make any money? How do they, they just sit around, yeah, the internet's good, digital's good, yeah, digital. Whatever. They've got their thing, and
yes.
I'm not making anything off it, so screw them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the data also makes no effort to gauge the sentiment of Facebook comments, so more chatter does not necessarily mean supportive chatter. They, in Hillary Clinton's case, could have just been talking about the real Scooby-Doo. So there you go. That's the big news out of the Scott Walker camp this week, and wow, what news it was! I tell you, my testicles are actually I don't know, they're kind of itching a bit. Listen, we're going to go for that very, very, very late second commercial break, but don't you go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have a lot of speculation and a few clues about a mysterious beach blast. Back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's get to the one store with more number one choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Action! And the thing with the camera!
Thank you so much, you weird, weird little man.
$88,000 a year they make, approximately average, 80s, let's say. And there's 1,000. That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
You know what, Louie? I like your math.
Yes.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if only we could make $88,000 a year.
That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, really? Well, get a calculator, you old fart.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, and we love having you every single day, over and over and over and over.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Louie, I don't know. You know what? It's not Louie. It's Jenny. She's pissing around and not pressing the button. I just saw her. On behalf of HTLA listeners, I do have to apologize to you directly, personally, with a lot of heartfelt meaning, love, and attention. We didn't mean to do that there. Jenny is just being a little smart-ass bitch. Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, okay.
They get fucking crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Okay, see, now she's beeping again. All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome back to the big show, of course. Your Coffee and Cigarettes Tuesday Espresso on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. Your man in the know, yes, your host, your one doing everything without a prescription. It's the one, the only CJT, Christopher Crash Jesus Taylor, in the studio, in the booth. No, I'm not in the booth. God, if I was, we'd need some oil. Yeah. Welcome back to the show today. Of course, 78 degrees Central Park right now. The Zool clouds are dispersing. I think we're going to live.
Yes.
I think we're definitely going to survive.
Yes.
Now, I was going to...
No, I would say... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, see, you're the guest / co-host. I'm the actual host. I'm the one who gets I don't know, what is it, seniority when speaking? So you just remember that there, you little Jew. That's right. Well, moving on today, we got lots of speculation. Yes, we do. Oh my God, what the hell was it? Are we under attack by aliens, or was it merely Artie Lang farting? Well, we got very few clues about a mysterious beach blast. Providence, Rhode Island, yes, a loud boom that rocked a Rhode Island beachgoer right out of her chair is still mystery days later. With no evidence of an explosive device, few clues in the sand, investigators and scientists are wondering whether this was a bizarre case of just nature acting up. Yes, she had gas. Well, among the theories that have been floated, some kind of seismic event. Yes, or a methane explosion.
Yes.
Well, there you go. That's the Artie Lang theory.
Yes.
Or an explosion caused by decayed seaweed or other organic matter under the sand. I must confess to not understanding this particular event, says Stephen Porter, Associate Professor of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology at Brown University. Everything at this point is entirely speculation, he says. The blast, Saturday, sent salty brine beach in Nagasat was so strong that Kathleen Denise was hurled from her beach chair near the waterline and thrown against a rock jetty 10 feet away. Denise, 60 years old, of Waterbury, Connecticut, suffered 2 fractured ribs and bruises, her family said. Witnesses that morning said they heard a rumbling, a loud bang that sounded like a large firecracker or grenade or gas explosion, and noticed a sulfur or butane smell after the fact. The blast left behind a rift in the sand, but little else. State Police Colonel Stephen G. O'Donnell said there was no physical evidence of an explosion, such as charring or debris. Dogs and chemical swipes detected no explosive residue. Officials also determined that there was no natural gas line running underneath. O'Donnell said investigators were looking into the possibility of a shift in the rocks or a seismic event, but environmental officials said late Monday that a seismologist with the University of Connecticut told them there was no seismic events in that area that registered at all on Saturday. Investigators dug up a power cable Monday under the sand near the site of the blast, but the National Grid, the power company, said there was no indication that it was related to the incident. National Grid said it was unclear whose cable it was and whether it was live. Porter and University of Rhode Island oceanography professor John King said the blast could have been caused by a buildup of methane underground. King said it's possible decaying seaweed generated the gas. If you were to put a cigarette out in the sand, that might actually set it off, King said, to which she says, I don't smoke. However, numerous Marlboros were found at the scene.
Yes.
Well, Porter said methane might have built up from organic matter trapped underground when the jetty was constructed. You can definitely get an explosion. How you would have that sequence of events on that particular beach on that particular day, I don't know, Porter said. The scientists said they heard methane explosions happening in nature, but Porter pointed out that it is typically places like swamps or in areas of the Arctic that produce high levels of methane. I've never heard of a methane explosion on a beach, he said. O'Donnell said investigators are looking at possible causes, including rotted seaweed theory. Everything's on the table, he said. We've even got the anal probe aliens going. Well, Janet Coit, director of the state body that owns the beach, told WPRO-AM on Monday that the agency is talking to U.S. Geological Survey and the engineers who constructed the jetty in search for an explanation. The jetty is owned by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. She said that she had heard theories about methane or a pocket of air trapped underground. At this point, that's just speculation, she said. All we know is we've got a blown-up old lady scared. Well, there you go. And actually, this just handed to me. Yes, this just in. Greg Howe is turned 56 today. So the earlier reports of, what did I say, 84, 92, completely unfounded bullshit. Okay. So once again, a happy birthday, Greg. Happy 56th. And we here at HTLA, of course, wish you nothing but the best today. And, well, we actually had, the golden tone of Gilbert singing. Actually, what the hell, Gilbert? Give it to him again. You gotta...
Take me to
There you
your
go.
heart. Show me where to start. Let me play the part of your first love. All the stars are right. Let us make a wish tonight, my love. Pity those who wait. Trust in love to fate. Finding out too late that they've lost it. Never let it go. You will never know the ways of love.
Yes, there you go. So, Greg Howe, happy birthday. Let's move the Christ on. Yes, there we go. Well, and what do we got to move on with? Well, of course, how about black folks who've just won $5.9 million now wanting criminal repercussions? That's right. The family is seeking charges. A $5.9 million settlement was won in New York City chokehold death case. Yes, the family of Eric Garner and civil rights advocate Al Sharpton, who's in for 16%. Well, he said Tuesday urged that charges be brought now against Garner's chokehold death, saying the $5.9 million settlement with the city did not provide justice in the case. I don't know. I'm looking at a picture of the mom there holding up a picture of a dead boy.
Yes.
She looks pretty satisfied. Friday will mark 1 year since Garner, 43 years old, died in a confrontation with police officers on Staten Island. The city announced the settlement Monday. No one has been charged in the case or is likely to be, as the evidence just does not support it. Well, quote, they treated my husband like an animal, and I think they give animals more respect than humans, says Garner's wife, Esau Snipes Garner. No relation to Wesley. Well, Garner, other family members, and Al Sharpton, of course, said that they will continue to press for criminal charges in the case. Al Sharpton said, if I can make an extra 10 to 100 grand off this, I'm gonna. This does not represent justice, Garner's daughter Erica said of the statement, but I'm spending the money anyway. We are calling on the Department of Justice and Attorney General Loretta Lynch to deliver justice for my father. Justice, I say. But this money is just as nice. Well, Al Sharpton said some detractors have tried to make the Garner family look like money grubbers. Really? And, of course, me look like a hustler because you don't want to deal with the chokehold. The case is not about money, he says.
Oh, my God, he's becoming black. I like it. Do a little rap here, too.
That's right, Louie. It's Reverend CJT. Well, Eric Garner and the community have not received justice, Sharpton said. Money is not justice, although I'll take my piece. Well, a New York City grand jury in December found no reasonable cause to indict Officer Daniel Palateo, who placed Garner in a chokehold after receiving a complaint that Garner was selling cigarettes in front of a store. Well, here's a hint to the Garner family. Stop selling cigarettes in front of a store. The grand jury ruling came days after a similar decision, of course, in Ferguson, Missouri, with not indicting the officer Darren Wilson, who widely publicized shooting death of unarmed teen Michael Brown in Ferguson. Within minutes of the Palateo decision, thousands of protesters took to the streets of New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Ferguson, and Atlanta just for shits and giggles. Well, then U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder announced via a federal civil rights inquiry into Garner's death. A medical examiner ruled Garner's death a homicide, and several inquiries into Garner's death remain pending. A bystander's cell phone video of the confrontation showed Palateo using a chokehold while others wrestled Garner to the ground. Garner pleaded, "I can't breathe." Well, yeah, but I was in a bar in Pacoima last week, and I did the same thing to a guy, and he said the same thing. You can't when somebody's got your throat. And by the way, all you Black Lives Matter suckers.
Yes.
He was a scrawny little white guy. Well, New York City plague and mayor. Yes, Bill de Blasio, the fat bastard. Frickin'. Now, of course, he was speaking to reporters yesterday before the settlement was announced. He said the anniversary of Garner's death was, quote, on the mind of many New Yorkers, end quote. He noted that police were being retrained and that the city was moving forward on equipping officers with body cameras so we can see in HD the choking of the black man. He says, I think we've come a long way, even in the last year, in terms of bringing police and community together. I guess $5.9 million doesn't hurt. There it is. Well, you know, we had those New York killers on the loose.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun for, the month and a half?
Yes.
Oh, and the gang banging in the laundry room, huh? Well, you know, now there's a new fugitive situation going on, unfolding, if you will.
Yes.
That's right. It's the El Chapo. Yes, it's all scary. It's El Chapo. DEA documents, of course, show El Chapo began his escape plots back in 2014. Mexico City today, Mexico's most notorious drug trafficker began plotting to break out of prison almost immediately after his recapture at a seaside resort in February of 2014. Internal Drug Enforcement Administration documents obtained by the Associated Press reveal that drug agents first got information back in March of 2014 that various family members and drug world associates of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman were considering potential operations to free Guzman. The DEA alerted Mexican authorities 16 months ago about the plans, said one U.S. official briefed on the investigation. The official was not authorized to disclose the details because he's not supposed to. Well, Mexican Interior Secretary Miguel Osorio Chong denied last night that authorities in Mexico were ever informed of potential escapes. They themselves told us that they don't know where that information came from, he said, referring to U.S. counterparts in the Associated Press's report. The Mexican government announced that it's offering a 60 million peso, that's right, $3.8 million, reward, of course, for Guzman's recapture, and that it has, fired, I should say, not fried. It has fired 3 prison system officials, including the director of the prison where Guzman escaped. 49 people have been questioned by the government's organized crime unit, including 32 prison employees. Widely considered the world's richest and most powerful drug trafficker before his capture last year, Guzman slipped down a shaft from his prison cell's shower area late Saturday and disappeared into a sophisticated mile-long, or 1.5 kilometer for all you Canadian folk, tunnel with ventilation, lighting, and a motorcycle apparently used to move dirt was just magically there.
Yes.
Well, the DEA documents indicate that U.S. agents did not have information about Saturday night's escape, which was the second time Guzman has fled from one of Mexico's highest security prisons. But the documents revealed that in March 2014, agents in Los Angeles reported a possible escape operation funded by Rafael Coro Quintero, who helped orchestrate the 1985 kidnapping and murder of DEA agent Enrique Kiki Cardeña. Yes, a plot that involved threatening or bribing prison officials. The same investigation revealed 4 months later that Guzman's son had sent a team of lawyers and military counterintelligence personnel to design a breakout plan. In December of that year, agents in the DEA's Houston Field Division reported that a Mexican Army general stated, quote, that a deal was in place to release both Guzman and Lorea and imprisoned Los Zetas cartel leader Miguel Angel Z40 Trevino Morales. I need $5.9 million just to read this crap. Man, oh man, holy crap, holy. The DEA documents obtained by the AP do not include the details of how the previous escape plots would be carried out. In them, Guzman is identified as Guzman Lorea. A widespread manhunt that included highway checkpoints, stepped-up border security, and closure of an international airport failed to turn up any trace of Guzman. Since the 1990s, his violent and powerful cartel has been known for digging sophisticated smuggling tunnels under U.S. borders with Mexico. Guzman was first arrested in 1993, but escaped the Jalisco, one of Mexico's top security prisons, in 2001. Maybe they should call the prison Jalapeno. Oh, it's a bad prison. It gets very hot.
Yes.
Well, he evaded capture in early February of 2014, although an elaborate network of tunnels that was connected multiple safe houses in Culiacan in his home state of Sinaloa. He was arrested in the resort of Mazatlan later that month. Jim Dinkins, the former head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security Investigations Unit, said Guzman's history of tunneling makes Saturday's escape really ingenious. The sophisticated tunnel described by Mexican authorities would usually take about 18 to 24 months to complete, Dinkins said, suggesting that it was started almost immediately after his arrest in 2014. The White House said yesterday that the U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch spoke with Mexico's Attorney General the day after the escape was discovered. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said the U.S. government has offered its full support to Mexico. He pointed out that Guzman has also been charged with serious crimes in the U.S. The State Department spokesman John Kirby said Guzman's swift recapture by Mexican authorities is a priority for both Mexican and U.S. government interests. Along with the 2014 escape plans, the DEA documents also reveal Guzman was still directing facets of his drug empire. You know, those facets that make money? Well, despite being imprisoned in a high-security facility, DEA reporting further indicates Guzman was able to provide direction in his son and other cartel members via the attorneys who visited him in prison, and probably through the use of a cell phone provided by corrupt prison guards, the documents state. Following Guzman's recapture in 2014, according to the documents, his son Ivan Guzman Salazar became the de facto leader of the Guzman branch of the Sinaloa cartel. Guzman's right-hand man, Damaso Felipe Nunez, took over one of the four major trafficking organizations that operated under the auspices of the larger Sinaloa cartel. God, it's you know, it's just like the movies. Yes, it is just like the movies, you know, and well, I don't know. Jeez. I'm sorry, I'm just out of ideas. Go another hour, I'll just be sitting here. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How many different families do you have?
Oh, way to break it up, Louie.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that? Yeah? You think so, huh?
No. No, I don't.
Yeah, well, you didn't win an Academy Award, jerk. Oh, and by the way, Louis, just for a little added bonus, yeah, here's a little bit of fun. It's going to get cold soon.
From all of us at HTLA Radio 1 New York, happy holidays!
There you go, buddy. There you go. You just suck on that a while.
Yes.
Well, don't fear. Don't go anywhere, gang. We've got more show here. I'm not,
yes.
You know, I didn't come unarmed, you know. You know, some folks don't learn,
yes.
But, you know, I did learn from all those unarmed black men shootings. Yes, and I come armed. In fact, Gilbert, you've in addition to the song that you did for Greg,
yes,
you've also prepared a couple other little bits, jokes that you'd like to tell in Greg's honor.
Yes,
just for him, actually. I understand.
Yes,
yeah. So, Gilbert, I guess I'll let you take it away here. Give us the two bits that you've got for Greg Howe there.
A drunken farmer stumbles upstairs into his bedroom, waking his wife, Roseanne. She sits up and sees her husband holding a sheep under his arm. The farmer yells, "This is the pig I've been f***ing." Roseanne says, "You idiot! That's not a pig, it's a sheep." The farmer yells, "Shut the f*** up! I was talking to the sheep."
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Yes.
That's it. And of course, Gilbert's got another one. Of course,
Yes.
It's one of my all-time favorites. I think.
Yes.
Every time I hear this, I don't know why. I just want to have sex. So look out, Jenny. Gilbert's about to let go my aphrodisiac comedy. We'll call it my aphrodisiac comedy bit. Yeah, that's what we'll do. It's the desert island one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Here he is. Here you go, Greg. Enjoy this little one as well. A gem, a gift from us at Coffee and Cigarettes. Yes. Go ahead, Gilbert.
Rubber balls and liquor. So these two desperately horny guys are on a deserted island. There's also a girl there, so it's two guys and a girl. They keep trying to come on to this girl. She keeps pushing them away. Finally, she gives up. And they're f***ing her over and over and over again in every conceivable position. One in the back, one in the front, and then they switch around, they f*** her the other way. This is going on for months on end. After a year, the girl goes, "I'm so ashamed of what I've been doing," wraps a rope around the tree and hangs herself. 5 months later, the two guys are on the island there by themselves. One turns to the other, goes, "I'm so ashamed of what we've been doing." And the other guy goes, "Yeah, me too. Maybe we should bury her."
Oh, that's something you gotta.
Hey,
oh yeah.
Two Joes. Hey.
Oh, there you go. So again, happy 56th birthday, Greg Howe. I'm gonna shut up now. Act right. Yeah, we've got the last story to do here. Yeah. Well, the last story of the day on the Coffee and Cigarettes, your Tuesday Espresso, of course, is the man who's claiming self-defense in a bear shooting.
Yes.
Yes, authorities are investigating the shooting death of a bear at Lake Tahoe last week. The unidentified South Lake Tahoe resident said he shot the black bear Thursday night in self-defense. Quote, "He was packing heat." This comes to us from Captain Patrick Foy of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Foy said game wardens had previously offered the man a permit to legally shoot bears due to damage to his property, but he turned that down due to fear of retribution by animal activists. Well, bear advocates dispute accounts as described by the Department of Wildlife based on an interview with the man, some suggesting the animal may have been shot out of a tree. Did the bear have a sniper rifle? God, you gotta be careful, man. Sniping bears.
Yes.
Well, the department is continuing its investigation and will forward the results to the El Dorado County District Attorney's Office, which will determine if the bear was shot legally or illegally. If the district attorney determines the crime was committed, the individual could be prosecuted for killing, illegal taking of the bear, a misdemeanor offense. It's definitely not a clear-cut case, Foy said. Found with the bear was a Barrett 50 sniper rifle and a Navy SEALs headband.
Yes.
That's funny. The bear's confused, thought he was a SEAL. Well, Ann Bryant, founder and executive director for the nonprofit Bear League, described it as yet another incident of people harming Tahoe's black bears unnecessarily, in this case, illegally. This is a criminal act. We just think it's deplorable, Bryant said. It seems like people take it upon themselves to kill our wildlife. There are ways to handle wildlife, and it doesn't involve shooting them. Well, to which I would say, really, Bryant? This bear was a sniper. Yeah, and it actually says here?
Yes.
It actually says that the bear had a Chris Kyle t-shirt. Yeah, right there. Well, according to Foy, the issue happened Thursday night when the resident of a home off South Tahoe's Pioneer Trail area discovered a bear inside his garage. The resident told an investigating warden he ran inside, grabbed a shotgun, and then came out and shot the bear, which had wandered back outside, Foy said. The bear ran off and died elsewhere, Foy said. The person claiming that he shot the bear was in self-defense. The dead bear was reported to Lake Tahoe's Wildlife Care on Friday, with members of the nonprofit group taking its carcass to the organization's headquarters. A game warden examined the carcass Saturday and determined that the animal had indeed been shot and wore a Chris Kyle t-shirt. Yes, the warden traced the bear's trail Saturday from where its body was found to a nearby area where they found an underground military bunker with numerous weapons. And a first Air Cav badge from Vietnam. As the details are unfolding here, we're coming to see that this wasn't a bear at all. It was actually just a man who never shaved. Well, the individual had reported past incidents involving bear damage and had been offered a depreciation or a depredation permit to legally kill the bear. Foy said he declined out of fear of such action would lead to problems with bear advocates, Foy said. After the shooting, the Bear League set up a donation fund to collect money for information leading to the arrest of the responsible party and raised $5,000 in just 12 hours, Bryant said. Tugi Silic, a member of the Bear League and Lake Tahoe Wildlife Care who examined the bear's body, said he found what he thought were multiple buckshot wounds in the bear's rear, indicating the animal was shot behind, calling into question any claims that the shooting was in self-defense. Also, however, failed to mention the 5-round ammunition chamber magazine for the Barrett 50 sniper rifle. There's not a chance he is shot in the back, Silic said. He chased it and shot it. Well, actually, no, I can see where this bear was actually shot in the butt, because if it was up in a tree, and it's in its little sniper position, overwatch on the guy's house, you know, guy can get smart and kind of flank around behind him and shoot him out of the tree. And, of course, that's going to be right up the ass. But I mean, you know, I'm no expert. You know, I'm really not. I'm not a counter sniper expert at all. But if I were, I would have to say this is easily a case of counter sniper tactics. Yes. So there you go. There it is. There you have it, gang. And that is all the time we got for today, your Tuesday Espresso. Thanks for kicking in, Louie. It was great to have you here.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Okay, I'm glad you still remember your name. Yeah, it's good to see.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, it's okay. We all make them. Enjoy yourself.
It's about fucking time. Move on. Move on.
She's not beeping you again. Well, anyway, thank you, Gilbert, for being here and giving us one hell of a job today. And I'm sure Greg Howe sends his thanks back for your nasty, nasty, nasty singing. But anyway, all the same, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
There we go. Well, and thank you, HTLA listeners out there, wherever you are, on whatever platform, iHeart, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker.com. The live chat room was hopping today. Thanks for being here, guys. Devlon Crawford, Sharon Chesley, all the rest of you. Happy birthday, Greg Howe. I'm going to shut up tomorrow. I won't mention it. But I might do a special show tonight Happy birthday, Greg Howe. Anyway, if you're out there, have yourselves a great Tuesday. We'll see you here tomorrow, Wednesday, for your Wednesday Grinder, 3 p.m. Eastern. And remember, next week we move to that time slot 2 hours hence, and it's 5 p.m. Eastern, and coffee and cigarettes every day of the week. Going to be next week. But until then, we'll be on at 3. Yeah. Anyway, gang, have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.